Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another discussion in the woods. And I just had a chat with you just a little bit ago and knew it was going to roll into this one, so I'm just keeping them separate. So anyway, my name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm just so excited. I'm definitely excited, just enthusiastic about this, to have this discussion, which is rolling out of the last discussion, which is how important it is to prime your day. People don't realize. They just don't realize that we have way more, control with our intentions than we think we do. And when we live deliberately, it makes a gigantic difference in how our whole day unfolds. But anyway, now we're rolling into this, which is about interaction. So if any of you have read that famous book, Dale Daniel, anyway, Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, there's something in there, and I have to tell you where I'm inspired besides him, SLU's graduation, St. Lawrence. Represent. I love graduations. Oh my God, they're my favorite day of the academic year. Also orientation, like bookends. But our babies are all grown up and they're just excited and so enthusiastic to get out there. Anyway, this is where my inspiration is coming from. I think her name was Lauren. Yesterday, one of the seniors, two seniors spoke in the beginning, and she brought up Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And in there, lots of people read it. It was on the bestseller list like forever. There's something in there that was just the main takeaway for me. And then hearing her yesterday bring this up, like, wow, I remember graduations because the talks are usually just stellar. Anyway, she talked about how he says there is no such thing as a neutral interaction. That is so true. Anything we do, even if it's like, pass the salt, because we're putting out energy, we're making eye contact, might even do a little hand gesture, no matter what it is. And if we actually are having a conversation, when you interact with somebody, when I interact with somebody, when any of us interact with somebody, and let's say it's just for 5 minutes in the parking lot, walking into your workplace or leaving your workplace, that person, after that talk, that person leaves with a feeling. That can't not happen, because the brain can't not think, and thoughts lead to feelings, and this is very important to know. And there's a whole spectrum of that, obviously. So they're going to leave with a positive, somewhere spectrum-wise, positive, even if it's here and almost neutral, it can't be. And then the whole spectrum of positive emotions based on your interaction. Well, once we get that, that is powerful. This is why it is so incredibly important to be actively involved in. I think I just swallowed a black fly. Ugh. Protein. Okay. It's so incredibly involved to live deliberately and be, the active pilots of the plane, the active captains of the ship, because that person is going to leave that conversation, even if it was 1 minute long, with a feeling, somewhere along the negative, positive spectrum. And so are we. Very, very, very important. And it's interesting, and this just came in my head right now, Don Miguel Ruiz talks about it too, because in that interaction, this is why it's so important to not take anything personally. Why? Because whatever that person is saying is about them, not you, like 98%, because it goes through their own filter. And another one is to not make assumptions, because that plays heavily into the conversations we have. And it can actually even be more distorted via texting, because obviously, a text rolls through, it has an exclamation point, which is yelling if you don't know. Oh, they yelled at me. I mean, maybe not, but that's what people assume. And we assume all kinds of things. And then we're making our response or reaction based on our feelings about the text. We don't really 100% get it, or verbally, we're not 100% getting it because we can't, because we're not in that person's head. So we're responding to a partial truth. We then give them back our emotion based on the partial truth. They then see our reactive response, and then they react and see the chain. And so it's so important to be actively involved in, or aware and actively involved, that every single interaction we have with each other is going to not be neutral and land someplace along the negativity, positivity spectrum. Very, very important. Okay, I'm back. Little G wanted to change of location, so yeah, so here we are. We're just deeper in the woods, kind of like it's like a circle. Anyway, okay, so we're talking about there is no such thing as a neutral interaction. This is so important to know. Every interaction we have all day. Remember that about 2/3 of all human communication is is nonverbal, right? So it's all of our tone and our facial expressions and all that. We are interpreting all that and we are expressing all of that every single day. Remember also that about 95 to 96% of everything we say and do every day coming from the vault, stuff we can't even access. Also important to know, right? Um, Also, this very chat is what had me decide to do the research I did on social media and well-being on the well-being of college students years ago. Before I did it, I was kind of exploring different things, and I asked then positive psychology, a long time ago, how many of you when you check your phone have an immediate change of mood. And I don't use the word every very often because I don't believe polarized things, like words occur in real life. It's a spectrum, right? Every single hand. It was a huge class, like 26 of them in there, which Champlain doesn't usually do. They're usually smaller. I just kept letting them in. But anyway, every single hand out of 26 went up. And I didn't ask about positive and negative. I just said, how many of you experience a mood change the second? So you look at your phone. You're not even processing yet. And it takes a matter of seconds, obviously, to realize so-and-so's in a relationship, so-and-so went on vacation, so-and-so, whatever got into graduate school, so-and-so is retired, so-and-so, started a new business at 55. Whatever it is, we have an immediate mood shift and we start comparing. So we were talking about in-person interactions before, then we talked about text messages, and now social media. No matter how you cut it up, there's no such thing as a neutral interaction. This is why it is incredibly important to realize that we are the captains of our ship and control that stuff and control what we say to people the best we can, and control what we allow in our own heads for absolutely sure, and controlling, the scrolling. Oh, I like that. I like the rhymes. Control the scroll. There we go. Okay, so no such thing as a neutral interaction. We're affected by all of it. So therefore, take the wheel. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off on this beautiful day from Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.